Dear students, welcome to history class. Let's walk through the path of history for a while. Today we are going to see the last and final session of French Revolution. And in this session, we are going to learn about Napoleon Bonaparte. You might wonder at why we are going to learn about a particular person in the French Revolution. But I would say, without mentioning about him, we cannot talk about French Revolution. We cannot, and because the beginning of the reign of Napoleon Bonaparte is considered to be the end of a French Revolution, according to the historians. So we must learn about Napoleon Bonaparte in French Revolution. So let's begin here. Here is Napoleon Bonaparte, one of the greatest personalities in the world history. He is considered to be the iconic military genius. Let's walk through the path of his epic journey. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on 15th August 1769 on the Mediterranean island of Corsica, and he joined in the French army as lieutenant in the year of 1785. I would request you to note down all these important dates because I have added something other than what you have in your textbook. So we have already mentioned that Napoleon was a man of power, man of ability. So he won the confidence of his people and seniors with his ability to make quick decisions. And he rose through the ranks of the French army. And he was the most powerful man in France at the time. So this is how he begins. We have discussed about how the National Convention came into power. During the French Revolution, King Louis XVI lost his power and National Convention took control of the country. But eventually what happened to them? By the year of 1795, even the National Convention lost its credibility. So there came another system called the Directorate. It was also called the Directory, which is of a 5-member governing committee in the French Republic. Even that lost its credibility by the year of 1799. And this is the time Napoleon Bonaparte returned to France after his successful heroic military campaign in Egypt. When he returned to France, he saw that his country is in political crisis. So he took part in coup d'etat, which means a forceful replacement of government. So he replaced the directory with the consulate. There were mainly 3 consuls, and he was the first consul. So we need to understand from the time of 1792 to 1796, National Convention was the governing body. From 2nd November 1795 to 10th November 1799, the Directorate or the Directory was the governing body, and by the arrival of Napoleon Bonaparte in the year of 1799, consulate took charge of the country. That's how Napoleon became the first consul. In the year of 1804, Napoleon crowned himself as the emperor. So he was called Napoleon First. From the part of clergy, we already know that is from the first estate. Pope Pius VII was present, and Pope began the crowning ceremony. But Napoleon Bonaparte snatched the crown from the hands of Pope and crowned himself, telling that Rome or clergy or church cannot rule over me. That's how he begins his reigning in France. Napoleonic Wars. So, in the first decade of the 19th century, we see a lots of wars under the commandership of Napoleon. Napoleon was very ambitious man, desired to control the whole of Europe. So he wanted to control the Europe. These campaigns targeted every major European power. So in the year of 1805, the Battle of Austerlitz, Napoleon defeated the combined forces of Austria and Russia. In the coming year, that is in the year of 1806, Prussia, today the part of Poland and Russia, that was defeated by Napoleon. In the year of 1807, Russia was defeated by Napoleon. And in the year of 1812, there was a Russian campaign. So there was a mistake from the part of Napoleon. He began the war in summer, but he could not win even when the winter arrived. So many of his soldiers perished in the extreme winter, and he was thoroughly defeated, and he returned to France. Historian says that almost 6 lakhs people went for the campaign, but only 1 lakh people returned back to France. And in the year of 1813, the Battle of Leipzig, again Napoleon was defeated. So Britain, Austria and Prussia, they formed an alliance and they defeated Napoleon. In the year of 1814, Allied forces occupied Paris. Napoleon lost his power and he was exiled to the island of Elba. As we know, Napoleon was very brave soldier and the emperor. He was never willing to perish in the island of Elba. He rose again. In the year of 1815, on February 26th, he escaped from the island of Elba and he returned to Paris. So we must know the Allied forces had already placed a king in Paris to rule over France. That was King Louis XVIII. As Napoleon returned to Paris, King Louis XVIII escaped from Paris. Again, Napoleon came into power and he gathered a small army and marched to Belgium. In the Waterloo, he was miserably defeated. And again he was exiled but this time it was to the island of Saint Helena, and the Allied forces replaced or restored King Louis XVIII. So, from the time of Napoleon's return to Paris till the time of restoration of King Louis XVIII, there were almost 100 days. So, this is what called 100 days campaign. The heroic journey comes to an end by the year of 1821. On May 5th, Napoleon died in the island of Saint Helena. His last wish was to rest on the banks of Seine, but his wish was not granted and his body was buried in the island of Saint Helena itself. 19 years later, in the year of 1840, his dead remains were returned to France. With this, we are going to conclude this chapter. In this chapter, we have discussed about American Revolution, the French Revolution, and the rise and fall of Napoleon Bonaparte. I hope these topics are clear to you. You have two questions as homework. The first question: describe the rise and fall of Napoleon Bonaparte. Secondly, which are the major conquests of Napoleon? So please write down the answers and learn them. Thank you.